paper saying, hey, you need to match this chassis with our structural warranty, because they usually do a 1-year warranty on chassis. Okay, 3-year structural warranty that's not voided for full timing. That's unheard of in the stick and tin market, correct?
So, absolutely.
Go up to the floor. We have actually a 5/8 tongue and groove marine grade OSB. Okay, why is that so important? Having marine grade.
Water.
Water. Exactly. You know who else uses marine grade?
Both.
The stick and tin.
Oh, no one.
You guys know why they don't use marine grade?
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's about 5 to 1 the cost. All right. But if people get some water in the floor, it's not going to swell. You have a 25-year warranty for any swelling on that floor. So it's not going to absorb any water. Okay? Go up to actually seals. So the seals on this, if I were to pull this seam right here, pull this apart, where you're going to see, basically you're going to see Mylar tape on major seams. The walls meet the walls, like Jeff explained. Then, cool thing with the Transcend is, since there's grooves, basically curved on the siding, we put close-up foam underneath the siding and then on top of it on this, okay? And then we do the silicone, okay? That's a quad seal. What other unit in the market, including Class A's, anything built, that's a quad seal in the market? Any other unit, you guys know? The Transcend is the only quad seal unit in the market today. That should be one of the pictures right there. And why? Water penetration. Okay? Gives the
You need to go over that
mind.
seal one more time. So it starts with
So if I take this apart, I'm actually going to do the Transcend tour.
Okay, perfect.
So, but basically, Mylar tape.
Yep.
And then underneath the siding, close-up foam underneath it, and then on top of it. So if I pull this trim piece off, you're going to see close-up foam on top of it to follow the curves on the outside. So you got closure inside, on top of it, and then the silicone. So quad seal. Only quad seal unit built in the market today. Okay. Then basically, if I was to pull all the siding off, construction-wise, you have 6-inch on-center studs. Why is that so important there?
What is it?
Strength.
Strength. 6 inches on center studs.
6 inches?
16 inches on center.
16.
Residential. So if you homes are built 6 inches on center.
I was thinking 6 inches. That's 24.
Another reason that's so important, this siding, you have a lot more to actually basically hold on to, correct?
Yeah.
Because a lot of stick and tin, what they do the skeleton kind of wall. They do kind of like the outside, they do a stud here, stud there. So even the windows and compartment doors are not framed in, believe it or not. So when they're cutting and putting these windows on, they're actually cutting through metal. Then you see the fiberglass insulation, and then glue on inside, and then they compress that. It's crazy, okay? This is all framed in just like a home. Okay, so when you get a compression, when we do that, like it's actually compressed. You're not compressing the metal, fiberglass, and glue on. You're basically getting a solid frame. Okay, so it's really cool on that. Siding, of course, people right away when they look at this, a lot of people think it's, what is that? I get that question a lot at shows, like, what is this? Okay, well, one of the biggest things in the stick and tin market, you're worried about impact damage. Okay, going down the road, especially one thing. I did this at a show once. I've never done it again, I promise. But basically, I went to a show and the GM said, hey, you need to do some training for these new people. They're doing a show. I'm like, all right, whatever. I hate doing training shows. I think it's kind of pointless. You forget about it. You know. But so what I did is, like, of course, we would buy this product that I was like, hey, you can actually hit this item, okay? And you're not going to dent it. But if you go over there and you press with your thumb on that siding, you're going to dent it. Sure enough, they went over there. By the end of that show, by Sunday, there was dents all the way across that side of the unit, which I felt horrible about. But they were like actually showing customers, they were showing the salespeople there. But this siding is actually, so usually the typical siding in the stick and tin market is 017 to an 024. Okay, we're the first ones ever to use an 030. So we doubled the thickness. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to press this and dent it. Okay, so it gives the customer peace of mind of impact damage.
That's the thick. Okay.
That's the thickness. Yep. So it's a lot, and it's so thick. You're not seeing so many the contours, so it's a lot flatter piece because it's so thick and actually stand up by itself. The ones that you see all those curves, that stuff's so thin, they need that to actually put that piece.
If a customer was to damage a panel, they could get a new panel.
Exactly. That's what people love stick and tin. Okay, because yes, stick and tin's like residential. You know, the siding, you actually take it off. The actually silicone beads to seal every seam there. but it's really easy to replace versus fiberglass, of course, which I do imagine too. So I'm not trying to pitch, but that's a pitch there. Fiberglass, if you get a delamination, you have to basically replace that whole wall, so it gets real expensive. You good? Yeah, you're good. Okay.
We pitched a guy so hard on a Transcend once, and we had to bring another unit from another store, and it ended up being a special edition Transcend that had fiberglass.
Yeah. That had
That
the wall
everything about how
you guys know why we
panels-
did that?
Yeah.
No metal left.
But we had to get right back into pitching why you wanted the lamination.
Yeah, we had no metal left. Cool thing also, this has Hurricane straps. Okay, so what the Hurricane straps do is basically connect basically the chassis floor itself to the whole unit, so it ties it down. Okay, why Hurricane straps?
Wind, man. Close it all.
Exactly. Like they say, you go through hurricanes and you go through earthquakes, correct? When you're driving down the road, that's headwinds of 60 miles per hour. Now 80, correct? So that's just little features there. Roof itself, completely walk on. All Transcend, that's just standard. You're gonna see a ladder back there, so you can go on the roof. The customer can do all their maintenance,
Are
so
the
check their seals.
slide boxes walkable?
They are, because they're laminated, correct?
They're not laminated, they're stick built.
Thick built.
But
they're-
all our
they're
slide
walkable?
boxes are, yeah.
Even on the Transcend?
Even on the Transcends up to Solitude and Mouse.
Really?
Yep.
Golden thread.
It's a golden thread, actually, yes.
Gotta add that to it.
The membrane up there is called the Superflex TPO. So it's actually the thickest and best stuff on the market, and that's actually a golden thread. We all use Superflex TPO. It's actually, so, before it was rubber roofs, and then TPO came out, and then PVC roofs came out, and that was the thickest stuff. Considered one of the best in the market. This Superflex TPO is actually 10 times thicker than PVC. It elongates 4 times more, and it can resist twice the amount of heat. So really cool on this stuff. It's 18-year warranty.
So what'd you
It's
call
not
it?
prorated
Superflex
anymore.
what?
Superflex TPO.
TPO.
Over all our slide boxes, we use an LVL header. Guess what that is?
Nope.
So basically, if you were to ever grab a stud or just a 2x6 or whatever, and you look down it, there's always going to be a crown on it. Why is there a crown on that stud? No? Because think about it, that is how trees grow a little bit, but when the machine cuts it, it's perfectly straight. But what causes the crown on it?
You have bows.
It bows. Why is it bow?
Uh,
Yes, right? Moisture. Yeah, so it dries out and starts bowing. So that's why what we use is called LVL. It's laminated veneer lumber. Okay, it's engineered to be perfectly straight, and since it's laminated, it's not going to have that moisture in it. It's not going to bow, so it's going to stay perfectly straight across.
It's 14 layers of like 1/8 pieces glued together. If you go look in like basements and homes, you'll see like big like orange beams down there. That's LVL. Ours is just a 2x4 of LVL. And it extends past the slide box opening, so you have like the extra support like past the slide box openings.
Yes, I will give
do
you.
you guys use LVL like
Over all our slide, so any slide
any
rooms,
slide room?
Yep, for
Okay.
Transcend, we'll have an LVL header, and we'll have finger joint studs coming down. You guys know what finger joint studs are? Same thing. So finger joint studs are basically pieces of wood put together to fit. The reason you do a finger joint is the same thing. The 2x4 is going to have a crown to it. We want your slide box to be perfectly straight or square, so it lasts longer. So your slide room goes in and out. Okay, you won't come off square. Okay, but it's just the little details this product has that this is right. The Transcend here has changed the market. It's one of those trendsetters that what's built like a Transcend. And also, I know all my territory, they're actually comfortable selling it. Because stick and tin was known as a what? Down and dirty market.
Yeah.
How cheap can you get it, And also one of my favorite things about Transcend is the functionality. Greg does an amazing job. When you walk in there, there's shoe storage. Everything just makes sense. There's a lot more storage for your basically plates, for your clothes. Also, just little things that customers won't see until they buy it, where the plugins are at. We got a lot more plugins than our customers. Also, our windows, okay? Our windows are actually tinted, okay? And they actually open. There's units out there that have big windows that look beautiful in shows. They do. You walk in there like, oh, such a big window. But when they buy it, they find out that they let so much sun in that sun, when it's not tinted, that unit gets really hot. And how you gonna let all that heat out, correct? And also, because you can't open it. So just the functionality of these windows that we put in 80/20 tint, they all open, so it keeps the heat out. And also, but something like, of course, just another golden thread there is like the no dust on the floor. I can keep going, but I'm gonna shut up because Birch wants it.
So yeah, I just want a couple minutes of your time. I do Solitude and Momentum. Half of you guys know me, so half of you guys have heard this before. But when Ron, Don, and Bill were formulating the company, one of the most important things is bring the same amount of quality in those things down into here. So they did not want to, and this is a good word track for you, did not want to penalize the customer that either couldn't afford to spend as much or didn't want to afford to spend as much money, didn't want to spend as much because they only use it once a year or so. So they use all the same quality in here. So you're getting a high line product for an entry level price. But during the last couple of days, I learned something from Justin was out here doing something. In my first few years of my career, and I've been doing this a long, long time, I wouldn't sell stick and tin because I didn't believe it. I thought that they were kind of crap because they were a down and dirty price, whatever. So we had this storage trailer on our lot that we used to keep a bunch of carpet samples and stuff to put in all of our rigs. So it was an old 72 or 82 something or other, whatever. So I used to tell people on a fiberglass one, I said, come over here and look at this aluminum one. This is what you could do. I took my pinky and I went like this. There's about 1,000 of those things on there. I could take my pinky and I could dent it. I said if a hail hits and a football hits and a frisbee, a tree branch is going to dent it. The only way to repair it is fix the whole side. Obviously, fiberglass is a lot more durable. Well, I'm here with Justin the day before yesterday. He says one thing nice about this is we have a .030 side or 20 on the sides, right? 030 on the sides, which is a thickness of metal, and 40 on the front for gravel and stuff hitting it. He comes up like this. One thing you can do on this, he goes. And I about went through the roof, and I'm looking at them, looking down the side, thinking, well, there's no dent. I was sure he put a handprint dent. This is hard metal. You know, if you do that in front of a customer, do it up by a window, whatever, use a flat of your hand, don't use bit. But then he took his bit, and he went like that right after that, just like this, super thickness. So the quality of the metal, just one of the things that, once again, makes this a high line product for an entry level price. Because remember, the decision to buy one of these is way more traumatic and dramatic than the decision to buy one of those. Those guys have made gigantic purchases. They just want all the glitz and whatever. This is a first-time purchase in most cases. So the guy gets to buy an entry-level purchase, but he's getting a high-line product. So you got to prove to him, you know, why this is a little tiny bit more money than one of those, but a lot more value. Maybe a grand or two more than something else, but you got 10 grand more with the quality. But remember that decision, respect that, and make him feel real comfortable because it is a traumatic decision. Yes.
We sell Airstream as well, and this is the same gauge of aluminum as what they use on Airstream.
Did everybody hear that? That is absolutely awesome, brilliant, and we thank you for sharing that with us. I did not know that.
That's awesome.
Nobody said that in the first group. Yeah.
So one of these things over an Airstream, you can replace a pan. Airstream, you got that dent for life. Thank you so much, seriously, for sharing that.
No.
Okay, let's rotate.